I have a lot to say. I would like to share my day 6 and 7 liver and gallbladder flush experience. Stay tuned. So I'm going to loosely explain what happens on day 6. Day 6 is the last day that you were to consume the apple juice, and I waited till the last couple minutes of the shut-off period because I forgot about it. And I mentioned in another video that I didn't do apple juice. I actually did apple juice and malic acid, but I got it in, and that just started the steps to get me behind. But after that, you stop doing that. Then you consume your first Epsom salt, and then after that you do an enema, a distilled water enema, and then at a certain period you're supposed to make the lemon juice and olive oil concoction and consume it, and then that's the end of your day. The book definitely does outline it in a detailed schedule, but you consume the Epsom salt twice before you drink the concoction. So talking about the other concoction, I did grapefruit. It was 3/4 cups of grapefruit juice, no pulp, and a half a cup of organic cold pressed olive oil. And I've been watching other videos, and they were saying that this was oh so disgusting. So with the Epsom salt, I thought that just the mixture of the grapefruit and olive oil, I have reactions with grapefruit. So I just thought, I was literally almost shaking, like saying chug-a-lug in my head, just trying to get this stuff down. I was pleasantly surprised, and maybe it was just my fear of what it actually tastes like, but it didn't taste like grapefruit at all when it was mixed up. And I wound up using my NutriBullet, and I'll have a picture. So it didn't taste like grapefruit. It actually tastes like an extra acidic orange juice to me. It wasn't bad to drink at all. And so once I drank that was it for my day. I was to lay down on my back, and the book tells you more about that, and go to sleep. And I actually wound up going to sleep pretty easily. So the book talks about, this was to start the process of the stones moving, and I felt nothing, so I thought at this point I had done something wrong. I didn't feel the urge to go to the bathroom. And I mentioned about the malic acid the days prior to. I was having regular visits to the bathroom, and there was nothing going on at this point. So I went to bed just really concerned about whether or not it was working. And so day 7, the book talks about you're supposed to wake up at 6:30, and I was kind of on the fence about that because remember I was like an hour behind schedule. But I woke up at 6:30, but I forgot to do the Epsom salt before 6:30. So I hurried up at about 6:45 and I drank that. And I'm still concerned whether it was working or not because I had not had any bowel movement. So what happened overnight? The major thing that happened overnight is that about 1:15 I woke up to go to the bathroom, still no feeling like I needed to do a number 2. And when I lay back down to go to sleep, sometime in the night I started to have sweats, and I sweated so bad that everything was wet. My pillow was wet, my sheets were wet. It woke me up out of my sleep. I was sleeping peacefully, and I had something to wipe myself off, and I could have sworn in my sleep state that I smelled the mixture that I had last drunk, the grapefruit and olive oil. I felt like I smelt it coming out of my pores, but I was so tired. I just wiped myself off, flipped my pillow over, and went back to sleep. And that was all that happened throughout the night. So day 7, what happened was I woke up at 6:30, and it wasn't until about 8 or 9 a.m. that I started to pass the stones, and it intensified as it was like 8:45 in like 9:45 that I just passed stones. And what it felt like was just a whole bunch of little grainy things coming out, and I didn't eat anything grainy during this process. So just liquid grains just falling out, thousands of them. It wasn't painful initially, although I could feel it, but just the sheer doing that all day long, it began to be raw and a little irritation that did develop, and discomfort from constantly having those stones, passing, running through, and just, scraping up against the walls as they went down. So what they looked like was, I saw little black things that looked like those pop candies you put in your mouth, maybe a little larger. They were ill-shaped, and I hadn't eaten anything black. So there were green stones, yellow stones, and they were floating at the top. The water was very cloudy, so you couldn't see what fell down at the bottom. But the book tells you, what to expect and where stones would sit. Some of them fall at the bottom. The more toxic ones do. But what I was surprised to find out is that during the organic coffee enemas, I had been passing stones all along. Not this quantity of stones, but nevertheless, it enabled me to identify some of the stuff that was coming out with my organic coffee enemas and answer some of the questions that I had. So it was just very beneficial all throughout the day. I was just having these spells of, no activity, and then just stones just falling out. So I guess I began to feel immensely better. Well, no, let me say this. I did have an appointment. So after the first session of passing the stones, I did do a detox bath. I will have a link in the description box for the detox baths that I do. But I found that very therapeutic, very relaxing. And I had my appointment, uneventful, but it was basically sitting down the whole time. And then I came home and had another session of passing the stones. And so I sat down some more and got up my confidence and thought that I could go and walk in a store. Silly me. I've already done a video saying that walking stimulates the bowels, and I didn't need any stimulation. It is liquid. It was liquid. So needless to say that I barely made it out of the store without humiliating myself. It was literally at the door. I was quoting scripture to make it safely to my car without it being a disaster. And after that, I just said, common sense, just stay put the entire day. I don't think eating was a major priority for me. I know I drank my requirement of water, and I just kept it light for that day. After a certain point, you are able to eat. And I don't remember eating anything substantial. So I was very glad to see that it was a success. And overall, I do feel better. So let me just say that the book already tells you that there are a series of these that you have to do after a certain period of time, and there is follow-up protocol after the initial cleanse, which was yesterday. So I have a two or three cool down day period, and then there's something else that I'm supposed to do. But today I didn't have all the gurgling that I was experiencing the day before, and I was able to eat. I just basically ate a salad with some lettuce and some corn and some black beans and some rice and just a mixed salad. And I have just, when the first time that I ate, I did feel like, just dropping and a whole bunch of gurgling and things like that. But I don't feel like it's a miracle. I just feel like something has been chipped away. And I'm anticipating what my future cleanses are going to do for me. So in about another month, I'm going to do another one, and I'm kind of excited to see, what's going to happen, because I feel better. I can't describe it. I don't know, maybe because it's a success. I guess days to come will tell for sure if this is genuine or if I'm just excited that it worked. I believe that's all that I wanted to say. Until next time, thanks for watching.